What's up, guys? I'm Mike from Stocked Up, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. The markets had a great day today. So the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and the Dow were all up pretty big today. The Dow was up just under 2%, but overall, we had a pretty strong day today following yesterday's kind of panic selling. I'm not going to call it a crash, but that last minute big fall at the end of the day. We had a really good day today, and we actually broke out past those highs on the Dow, but with the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, we're still struggling to break above those highs. So we had a little bit of a confusing day in regards to that, but overall the markets had a great day, up around 2%. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of the episode to hear all of the plays for tomorrow and all of the news that happened in the stock market today. At the end of this video, we have a $5.1 million options trade on Netflix. So make sure you stick around and let's get right into it. So Tom, what happened in the market today?
Yeah, the Dow really rallied more than 500 points at its high, and that was awesome to see. And it also had its best day since July. And that's awesome to hear, especially after the terrible day yesterday at the end of the day. That was really bad to see those big red candles to end the day like that. And it really scared a lot of traders. But a lot of times when you see big red like that, sometimes green comes back into the market. And in this case, green just overtook the market and the market came all the way back up, which was awesome to see. And it came back up because Trump just kept on tweeting today. CNBC reports that U.S. stocks rise on Wednesday after President Donald Trump tweeted support for aid to airlines and other stimulus measures, stoking hope that a smaller aid package could be passed by lawmakers. And that was really good news. And the Dow Industrial traded up 544 points to the high, or almost up 2%. The S&P was up 1.8%, the NASDAQ 1.9%. And really, this was just awesome because the airlines right now are having a lot of problems, and they're really having problems making payroll, and they're going to have to lay a lot of people off if they don't get help. And Trump also pushed for another round of $1,200 stimulus checks for everybody, and that's just really good news for the market. And the closer we get to a stimulus, and the more Trump says that he's open to do a stimulus deal, is just going to help the markets more and more.
I think the past 2 days just go to show everyone how important and how influential Trump's Twitter page is, because Trump single-handedly, like we all know that his tweets have a lot of influence, in the world, but also the stock market. I know there's a lot of like computer programs out there that just trade based off of his tweets. So right when Trump tweeted yesterday about the negotiations, Tom, if you could go to like an intraday chart on the SPY and show everyone where the tweet happened yesterday. Right when he tweeted, the market was having a great day yesterday, but right when he tweeted, the market did like a complete 180 and had a huge fall, right? And then last night he made another tweet, and the markets, I'm not going to say they didn't go straight up, but they went up pretty quickly. So that just goes to show everyone how influential Trump's tweets are. Whether you like Trump or you don't like Trump, he does have an influence on the markets, and it's important to notice that. And, like we've been talking about, we are in a volatile market, and there's going to be a lot of what's called the black swan events that happen. Basically what that is, it's just an unpredictable event. So like no one could have predicted that Trump was going to tweet what he tweeted yesterday, right? And that's why the markets fell out of nowhere. So we're going to see a lot of these events until the election, most likely. It's just the type of market we're in. So keep that in mind, but it just goes to show you the influence that, some people have over the market.
Yeah, definitely. And also, Amazon Prime Day is approaching, and CNBC reports that the online retail giant is kicking off its annual 2-day shopping event at midnight Pacific time or 3 a.m. Eastern time on Tuesday, October 13th. Options are always fun to play on Amazon, especially when they have news such as Prime Day. And I know a lot of guys in Discord are looking forward to Amazon for the next couple of weeks. And, it's just one of those events that a lot of people love to watch. And Amazon's just one of those killer stocks. It just always seems to rise whenever they have these types of events. And I'm not saying they're going to go up right now, but it's just one of those things that in history, they generally go up on these.
I mean, Amazon's such a powerhouse company, and their Prime Day is in about a week, a little bit less than a week. So we'll see what happens. But I think a lot of it depends on the overall market. Like, even if Amazon has a killer Prime Day, I think, if we're seeing the tech sector or just the market in general sell off next week, then I don't think like Amazon would just power through that. Like, I
And
think.
plus, we also have to beat the numbers of last year's Prime Day as well, or else that'll be some bad news.
Right. So, Prime Day is always good for the company. But even if they have like a killer Prime Day, if the market overall is falling, or if they don't beat their numbers from last year or their expected numbers, the stock can still fall. So, this event is definitely something to watch out for. But in my eyes, it's kind of like an earnings event. Like, it's not like an earnings event, but don't just think that, oh, Amazon is going to explode next week because they have Prime Day. Like, there's other factors that can prevent them from exploding. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I will say though, with that in mind though, it does look like their daily chart is looking pretty decent, at least over the past couple of days. At least they're not turning back and heading south right now. That's good news, at least.
True. I mean, you look at Apple too; they're doing pretty decent. I would say Amazon's doing a little bit better on this recovery from the past couple weeks, but they are looking pretty decent. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla's also doing decent. But the market also had a pretty solid day today too. So we'll definitely keep our eyes on Amazon, especially for Prime Day next week. Was there any other major news, Tom?
Not anything too big. I just know that there's going to be a lot of political stuff coming up. So just keep your eyes on the news, because anything can go on right now with these Black Swan events, and they can happen at any time. So
Yep, absolutely. And now for our Discord member of the day. So today's member of the day is JLSD. So I saw that he took your day trade, Tom. So I'm going in the profits channel right now, and he got in the PTON calls that you called out. He was in at 295 and out at 400. So he was thanking you for that. So great job, JLSD, on that trade, and great job, Tom, with that call out. So
yeah, that was an awesome trade. Peloton has really been playing so well over the past 2 weeks. You can just see steady staircases up. And what's awesome is that it generally has a lot of green momentum at open. And, a lot of stocks don't get that. Some stocks like to drop at open and then come up, but Peloton really likes to run at open. And that's really what's been attracting me to it lately.
Yeah, I mean, great call out on that. I know a lot of people did very well with this. So great job. It actually broke all-time highs again today. It looks like it's been breaking all-time highs for like the past 5 or 6 days in a row. So it's definitely running, but guys, don't fall into this, hype, because this stock can turn over at any second. And I would say that it's pretty likely to at least pull back sometime soon. What do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely think that as well. It looks like it's trading above a lot of the supports it made down there. There's a pretty steady support around $73, and I'm not saying it's going to fall back to 73, but being as high as 118 from that $17 mark in April is just really crazy. And it's just one of those stocks that whenever you see them extend like this, I feel like we say this every day lately because there's so many of them, but whenever you see them extend like this, they just have to pull back eventually, at least a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I can definitely see it pulling back. So let's get into the momentum plays for tomorrow. And the first one is Fastly. So FSLY had a really good day today, up about 20%, broke past all-time highs with a lot of momentum and a lot of volume. What levels should we be watching for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'd really just watch for this one to break above 125. It looks like they're really running an after hours right now, and they peaked around 124, but I'm guessing that by the movement in the morning, it'll be around 125.
Awesome. With the next play, we have PLUG, plug.
Plug, make them pop above $19.
All right, and both of these stocks are to the upside. Then we have UPS.
Yep, make them hit 175.50.
Yep, this stock is also breaking all-time highs. And then last but not least, we have Etsy, ETSY.
Make them hit 144 or higher.
Yep, so we're eyeing all these plays to the upside if they can break above the levels listed. So now for the $5.1 million options trade for tomorrow. And we are looking at the Netflix 550 strike call options that expire this Friday, October 9th. So yesterday's unusual options activity were the Apple 115 calls. So let's take a look at those ones. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second. So the 115 calls are up about 17% today. But as of right now, I mean, they're not up like a crazy amount because yesterday they hit highs of 242 and they closed at 109. So depending on where the smart money got in this trade yesterday, depends whether they are up or down on the position. But Apple, I can still see it falling, or I can still see the person who got into the Apple 115 calls yesterday. I can still see them as shorting the play, but it just depends. Like I'm not like set on it, but I don't know. I have my eyes on Apple from yesterday. I just wanted to recap yesterday's play, but now for today's play, the Netflix one. Also, I mean, it is about $15 out of the money, which, given that there's only 2 days left of time on it, makes me think that, at first makes me think that they would be shorting this play, but considering they're up just under 6%, and the market also had a pretty good day today. And when Netflix runs like this, it normally runs for a couple days. So I can definitely see the big money behind this longing them. But I'm kind of split because at the end of the day, this contract is still $15 out of the money. So I don't know. What do you think?
What I think is, how can you put this much money into these plays right now with all this political stuff and Black Swan events and everything going on? It just sounds crazy that these guys would still be putting millions into these calls. But I guess, given how many traders there are every day, it's just going to happen. But I honestly think that they're longing these. I obviously think that Netflix could go down, but just given the way the market was today, I would have to say up based off of technicals. But right now, technicals don't seem to be working too well.
Right? When you have just random tweets in the middle of the day sending the markets down and up though too, like last night. But we're just in a black swan type of market. Looking at Netflix, I think the smartest thing in this situation, I mean, who knows? It could be someone selling these calls for like covered calls, you know what I mean? And they might be trying to exit their position at a better price. You know what I mean? I think that's a pretty likely event.
Yeah, I think that would be the most likely scenario. Probably on a lot of these unusual options, really, especially whenever we see the big ones like the $20 million, $30 million positions too.
Yeah, awesome. So now for our comments from the previous episode, we have KV saying, hey, Mike and Tom. So JE did a reverse split recently. Based on prior data, it looks to me that it can go up to $18 per share and it's at $5.40. What do you say? Is that legit to assume based off of prior data before the reverse split? So let's take a look at JE. So it's at about $5.32 right now. Typically what happens is, Tom, can you look at like a long-term chart on this stock? You see like how it just falls and falls and falls in value. You know what I mean? Like this company is not something you want to invest in. I mean, look at it over the long term. And on my weekly chart, so this is just the past 5 years. I'm seeing for the past about 20 years, this stock is saying to be worth about 100 times more valuable than it is right now. So for example, on my long-term chart, it was saying that its all-time highs were $544. And right now it's at about 540. I mean, right now it's at about $5.40. So basically what's happening with a reverse split is typically companies do this because they need their share price to go up. So a company might need its share price to go up to stay listed on certain exchanges or, just things like that, to meet listing requirements. So normally companies that reverse split, they're not good companies. Sometimes you see huge run-ups off of reverse splits, but most of the time it's best to just stay away from these. And it's a lot more safe to go to stocks that are splitting, not reverse splitting. Like you look at stocks that split, like Apple, like Tesla, like all these other like stocks that everyone knows about. Everyone knows about Apple, Tesla, and all these other blue chip stocks. but I'm sure not too many people heard about Sea Limited, which is ticker symbol, or no, actually JE, sorry, which is Just Energy Group. Not too many people heard about this company, and they're reverse splitting. So with reverse splits, it's just best to stay away from them. Normally, they're just with terrible companies, and just looking off this company's chart, they're not in a good position. So personally, I would just stay away from them.
Yeah, I remember back when I first started trading, I really would put a few $100 into all these random stocks that reverse split all the time because I kept thinking that they had potential to go back up to $100, $200. But yeah, just keep in mind that's really not the case. And it's really better to get companies that are splitting, like Mike said.
Yeah, and then let's say like for example with JE, like let's say I was doing like a 1-for-4 reverse split. So the share price, and let's say the share price is at $5. If its share price is going to be multiplied by 4, that means the stock price is going to go from $5 to $20. So that does not mean that you can buy now at 5 and then sell at 20, because what's going to happen is if the share price gets multiplied by 5, the shares you own are going to be divided by 5. So everything remains equal in this scenario. There's no opportunity for arbitrage or anything like that. So just keep it in mind, normally reverse splits are something to just stay away from. Now let's take a look at the next comment. We have Jose talking about SQQQ. So let's take a look. What do you think of SQQQ, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those short, almost like an ETF. It's just like almost like the reverse of the QQQ. And I personally, it's not something I would like to get for the long term. But if I wanted to get a stock that would be, I don't want to say safe, but relatively safe to hold while the market's going down, it could be a really good thing to get and hold with only a small percentage of your portfolio. But just keep in mind that SQQQ goes down whenever the NASDAQ goes up, and goes up whenever the NASDAQ goes down. So really, if the market goes down, SQQQ will go up. And I think it's a little bit safer than holding a stock like SPXS or VXX even.
Well, this one's also leveraged, Tom. So it's kind of like the same thing as SPXS. Honestly, with this, I would only play this if you want the market to go down, because when the market goes down, this will pop up, but it's also leveraged. So for example, looking at QQQ, it was up about 1.73% today. SQQQ was down about 5.27% today. So when the NASDAQ or the QQQ is down, this thing shoots up a ton. So I would not hold this over the long term, though, because it will decay in value. That's just how leveraged ETFs work. However, this can be a good trade just for maybe like a couple of days, or just like short-term in and out day trades, because it is leveraged and it does have some pretty big moves. So with that being said, Tom, do you have any last minute stocks, options, or any insight for the market for tomorrow?
Really, I'm not going to be watching too much. The market was really crazy today, in my opinion, how the SPY and just the overall market really recovered almost back up to the highs that they were yesterday before that little flash crash that we had in the middle of the day. And I just really think that the market is kind of crazy right now. So I really want it to pop above some levels or below some levels before I look at a lot of stocks. But there has been some stocks that have been running, like SPCE has been running up a little bit. You can see it seems like it's trying to break out. It's just having some problems. I would say if it can pass above 22.55, then we could look at SPCE for tomorrow. But really, there's not too many stocks moving right now, at least moving in a safe direction that I would like to go ahead and call out.
Awesome. So yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the market is just so volatile right now, and sometimes the best play is no play. And a lot of people get caught up in thinking that they need a play every single day, but especially in this type of market, a lot of the times it's just better to do no play, because we are in such a volatile market. I know there's a lot of new people in the market right now, but we're just in a crazy market, and there's so much volatility and just black swan events, and it's just best to enter light, have risk management, and to not force bad plays. So thank you everyone for watching this video, and thank you so much for all the comments. Tom and I really appreciate it, because it really helps grow the channel. Thank you so much for all the comments, likes, and new subscribers. If you guys want to try out the options day trading bot, you can click the Stocked Up Options Alerts link in the description down below. And if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments down below. But other than that, thanks for watching.